Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I think now it's time to introduce ourselves, and I'm Sloth, the game refresher. I'm here to review rules, tell you about how some board games are played, and also about my thoughts, and eventually, I hope very soon, share a little bit of my designs. I don't want to call myself a board game designer already, but you know, I hope I can get there. So in today's videos, I want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more how I got exposed to board games and how I started playing board games and why I started playing them, what kind of games I like, and finally, how big my collection is, the huge collection. I'm gonna show you so many games that I have. Am I going to? Actually, I don't know. Let's stay tuned and let's get started. So, let's go a little bit back in history. My very first board game was, yes, you get it right, Monopolies. Yes, it was. Of course it was. Did I like it? No, I didn't. I remember playing with my family many times, and I still remember that I didn't understand why we were never able to finish it. It was so long, it took forever, no one was enjoying it, but we keep playing it. I had no idea about games, but really I felt that that game had something off. Do you agree? Let me know. Then, the real first games that I truly enjoy, guess which one was it? It was Scotland Yard. Not this one, of course, it was Scotland Yard. I remember playing the Indian character with my sister, and I enjoy sneaking around the board and confusing her about my location, and I really loved the look of that game. It was so mind-blowing for me at that time. I still think Scotland Yard is a great board game, and everyone should try it, like this one as well. They should try it. From elementary school to grad school, I must confess, I didn't play many board games here and there, mostly with friends. I focused my attention to card games. I really love cards. As a matter of fact, I played bridge competitively. I would like to start playing again. During the pandemic, I treat myself with more boxes of this side rather than poker deck. During grad school, my gaming experience really took off for two reasons. One, I had a classmate, he really liked board games. As a matter of fact, he was buying once, I would say probably every week, and he was organizing board game nights every other month. The second reason is that I ended up to be hospitalized for surgery on this shoulder, and I stayed at home for several months without almost seeing anyone except my wife. And so, to kill my boredom, I started watching YouTube videos. I watched Tabletop with Will Wheaton, excellent TV program, and The Dice Tower. When I was isolated at home, I was trying to recover from my injury, I was trying to imagine how cool it would be to share those happy moments and play amazing games with friends and families. Now I was watching Tabletop or the 24 hours marathon from the Dice Tower and trying to figure out which game would fit me the most. I would find the most fun to play. And eventually I started now looking online and tried to do some shopping. As a graduate student, money were not really abundant, so I had to be very selective. And I think still I am, when it comes to, pull out the credit card and pay for games. Anyway, was 2018. I graduated, and after that, to start a real job. That's what I told my mom, and get extra money, and then start buying even more games and more boxes. That's cool, like one of those. At the beginning, I was focusing mostly on party games because I really enjoyed the experience and the laugh that those bring with many people. And slowly, I tried to be more attracted by Euro games, strategy games, all kind of sorts of games. Fast forward, we arrive here with a pretty decent sized board game collection, and most importantly, with a very supportive wife, my number one player.
I really need to thank her not only for her support in every day and also in gaming, but also for her patience that she has, for contenting me in playing more and more games, and even more games that she would have preferred to play. Really big thank to her. Let's talk about board games. What are my types of board games? And what about yours? Let me know in the comment below. I don't know how to define myself yet, and perhaps the best things to do is let you figure out for me, and please let me know. With these channels you will hear my opinions about games and experience, and perhaps you can infer what kind of board gamer I am. And please, if you do, leave a comment below. I tend to gravitate towards Euro games, medium weight, games like Root or Sight or Dune and Imperium, games that I see as a treat for myself. I prepare days in advance. I tell my friends we're gonna do this these days, and stay free. And if some of them is a new player, please read the rules in advance and familiarize. Watch this video, watch that videos, like a big grandiose event. The games that I play the most are lightweighted, built around one hook, maybe a key mechanic that keeps them fresh and engaging. Here I'm talking about the new board game classic, like a Ticket to Ride, Azul, Century Spice Road, Pandemic, The Crew, you know what I mean. These games are enjoyed by my family and turn out to be the most played every year. And to be honest, I'm not tired of them and I see why they are great games. They achieve a lot with little rules over it. The big grandiose games give you the feeling of going on a high-end restaurant where you serve excellent food and the presentation is also a treat for your eyes. Root possesses a constant tension in each played card because you know that the board is going to change drastically. Are you ready to counter-react to those changes? Did you push yourself too hard into a tactic that exposes your Achilles heel? When the race for 40-point hands, you are still asking for more, like the chocolate ganache left on your plate that you lick after devouring a marvelous slice of a cake. Dune Imperium has the same tense, racing feeling, but everything rotates around the deck that you build and the tight worker placement. I don't care less about the theme. I try to watch the new movies, but falling asleep all the time. But the game is so strong, so engaging that overcome my disinterest for the theme. Unfortunately, I don't have time to organize too many epic nights with my friends. We also happen to be cultists of the new, so always looking for new games, and they don't want to play over and over old ones. When we say old ones, talking about 2022 or 2021 releases. And my family doesn't really like those games. So here are the modern classic. Not much rules and really challenging decision to have every time. Not only my family likes them, but also they are so easy to introduce to someone else. Even people that have never played games, you explain a couple of rules and off you go. And I'm really confident that almost everyone will like them. More importantly, they are language independent, which for me and for my family, it's a big deal. I'm Italian and my wife is Chinese. We have been traveling and meeting international people every year, and games bring us together. They allow us to share beautiful experience together. And all this can be easily achieved if no text is present on cards or board. It is so heartwarming seeing my family and my wife's side of the family gathering at the same table and, despite the language barrier, enjoy their time together and laugh together. Because you don't need words when you clearly see someone stopping you from having the longest route a Ticket to Ride. These games can stand the test of time. You may now be asking yourself, how many games do I have in my collection? And if you can read between the lines and you have watched my previous videos, you probably can guess not that many. I mean, considering a standard board gamer, but definitely too many for a standard human being. What are you saying? I'm not looking at the camera? Like, I don't think they're gonna figure it out. I'm just looking at myself and the cell phone. Okay? I'm on 3 continents. I have about 40 games.
Are you surprised? How many followers did I just lost? Yes, you heard me, not as many as you thought, but doesn't mean I don't play games. The thing is, at my home, the turnover is very, very high. For the reason that I mentioned, friends want to play the hottest games, and I do too. In many games I found I don't last the test of time. Sometimes the new hottest release are not that hot, maybe kind of lukewarm at best. Either they do something that other games do already better, or they may do something new, but they do in a clunky way, or simply they are not my style. For example, let's take Meadow. It's a very high regarded game. Many people love it, but I found it okay. Very good looking game, nice decisions, but nothing really new. You play a card and you collect some symbols to get you more cards and help you to get even more cards, and eventually you score points. Actually, its challenge is less apparent than it looks. It's really a hard game, but overall I felt a little bit dry. My mouth was a little bit dry after playing it several times. I can see why many people like it, but it's not for me. So I pass it and get rid of it. If you like it, it's excellent. If you never heard of it, please check it out. And I hope you can have fun with it. The beauty of this hobby that there's a lot of variety, and everyone can find what they like. It's like a Chinese buffet, huge selection. Some people go for the fried stuff, some people prefer eating the seafood. And so it's all a matter of taste, and it's fine in this way. I really enjoy foraging on the marketplace, on the internet for good deals. You can really find anything you want on the marketplace, anything you want at a reasonable price, as long as you have time to wait for it. And since there are so many games that I haven't played and I want to play, I don't need to chase the hottest new release. I just need to log in, get to the marketplace, wait a couple of days, and something will attract my attention. If I see something that I like, I'm curious to try, I purchase it, bring it back home, try 1 or 2 times, 3 times, who knows, depends what game it is and how I feel after the first or the second game, see what my family thinks about it, and then maybe dig a little bit more into the mechanics of the game. Remember, I'm trying to design my own games, so I try to understand how all the pieces, the moving pieces are connected, and try to develop my own clock and gears for my games. So after that, if I don't like it, if I'm not satisfied, back into the wilderness of the internet. There's always a guy who has full-fledged the greatest game of all times, and then Kickstarter looks super cool and amazing, and then as soon as the game is delivered, he doesn't like it, and so he sells it at a small loss, and you can be the one to take advantage of that. Remember that on the internet anything can be found, and if you stay on this channel, I promise you I'm going to show you something really incredible. Yes, I got lucky, but it is all a matter of time. I was patient enough to wait. And since we have mentioned Kickstarter, let's conclude with a small comment on Kickstarter. You may wonder, how many games do I back? Well, I can tell you right now, a handful of games. Oh, why? Because I do not know if I'm going to like it or not. And often Kickstarter games have really high prices, plus shipping, and being Canada, I lose on exchange too. Since there are so many games that I have not played yet, which are already published, I prefer focusing on those. When do I back a game? Well, there are 2 major triggers. Number 1, if I tried the game or I heard enough about it that I know I'm gonna like it, so then maybe I back the eventual reprint plus expansion, the usual deal that you can see on Kickstarter. Or number 2, the publisher offers some sort of special deal or special perks if you back the game on Kickstarter. I remember Pandasaurus for Dinosaur Island giving a special dinosaur tokens if you back the Kickstarter.
or the publisher offer a significant discount. I remember Letters Game, when released the first print of Root, they gave the first expansion for free. That was a very good deal. So remember, Kickstarter comes with risks, so the rewards needs to be substantial to justify those risks. Finally, I conclude my introduction. Now you know a little bit more about me. Now it's your turn to let me know a little bit more about you. So write in the comments, what is your genre, your favorite games? Do you back many Kickstarter? Do you buy many second-hand games? Write it all down there. And don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, like this video, share with friends. You know the drill. This is not the first YouTube video that you're watching. Am I right? And thank you very much for following, and see you next time. Ciao.